Hey there, toy collector friends and Doctor Who fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the time travelling toy collector, and this is the Doctor Who The Collection Season 12 Blu-ray limited edition set. So, as you may or may not know, I was recently asked if I would look at some of these on the basis that whilst they're not toys in and of themselves, they are collectible adjacent due to them being the latest offshoot to the beloved Doctor Who franchise, dating back from 1963 right up to 1989 before it had a rest and came back once with the Paul McGann TV movie and then again with the 2005 relaunch with Christopher Eccleston as the ninth-ish Doctor. This is season 12. Season 12 was the first the collection release, which was, if memory serves now, 2018. And there was quite a bit of furore when this came out. It was a very mixed reception because as a lot of people commented at the time, it's a re-release of an awful lot of DVDs that most collectors would already have. And yes, it had some new features, but really, you know, do people really need to upscale to Blu-ray for their old collection? And some people were saying, well, it's quite expensive, blah, 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 for what it is. Thinking, you know, it's a rehash of in essence, money for old rope, to coin a phrase. And I was in that camp. I was like, over the years, I've collected the Doctor Who DVDs so that any and all available classic stories I have in their DVD format. And then along comes this. And I really nearly didn't buy it. I really nearly didn't. And it was just a conversation in passing where someone commented on the fact that, yes, but the Blu-ray will see it upscaled and there's a whole load of new speech features and so on and so forth. And I thought, you know what, I'll just pick it up. And so I pre-ordered it just in time, I think it's safe to say, and it arrived. And I'm so glad I did, because the quality and the care that went into the production of this, it's not often you see a box set that has the level of detail, care and concern that went into the production of this season 12 box set, and indeed the other box sets that have been released subsequently. There's not been as many as we would have probably hoped, but I think lockdown wiped out time between 2018 and now. It slowed down the production of some of the specially filmed documentaries, etc., which you can totally understand because people weren't available for interviews. And probably if you look at the time frame for who we might be looking to interview or see interviews from, chances are they would have been particularly vulnerable or susceptible to the coronavirus pandemic. So technically speaking, they probably would have been very unavailable for interviews, etc. So I can fully understand why putting their health first was far more important than putting together a few box sets for the likes of me. But production is now rolling out. We've just had season 9, which is the third Doctor's season, which I've already done a video for, which you can find on my playlist for the collecting the collection, which is where I'm going to put all of the videos for this. But I mean, I think there's just so much to talk about. I'm not going to review the individual stories, just to be clear. I'm not here for that. There are other channels that will do that and have done it ad infinitum and do it far more eloquently than I ever will. I'm here just to look at the collectible element of the physical media. And again, physical media is something we see less and less of. Certain streaming channels are now not releasing any of their stuff in physical media, or aspects of it will no longer see physical media releases, and I think that's I'm conflicted. One thing, I can understand why it might be cost effective as a business model, but as a collector, as a fan of certain things, I want something that gives me more insight. I want something that I can tangibly hold, that I could get signed by cast members or creatives working behind the scenes. And I can't do that with a digital download or a stream. I can't do it. It doesn't connect me to the material in the way that a physical product does and can. and maybe that resonates with some of you. And before I go too further on, if it does resonate with you and that kind of thing makes sense to you, and you're into stuff from the 80s or the 70s or the 90s, then do subscribe to the channel if you don't already. It's a simple click. Do it now whilst you're watching this. I'll wait for you. Have you done it? Go on, do it. Thanks very much. And also, if whilst you're doing that, if you want to like the video, that really does help, because it helps promote this and other people can get to see it. And I really think that things like this do deserve to be seen, because I really think a lot of people may have taken the view that it's money for old rope, it's rehashed, and they're not going to get it. And I think that's such a shame. I appreciate that it's a luxury product. I appreciate it's a considered purchase because these aren't cheap. But I do think if you are in a position to get it, or want to hold on and get the standard edition that tends to follow on a few months later, then do so, because it really is as a compendium. It's a great archive of what's gone before, with some fantastic brand new documentaries, behind the scenes footage, interviews, etc., that builds on what already has been done and what you may already own, and expands it in so many new ways. Anyway, I'm just going to talk about the product. And for me, it's beautifully put together. I love it. Sort of the TARDIS interior grey is the primary colour of that. You can see the back here. It comes with this sort of slip case, which I keep. And I'll tell you why in a second. But I'll just let you have a quick look at the back of that. Some lovely artwork there. You can see it's got it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories, 5 serialized stories here. Which is, does it say, yeah, 20 episodes. You get 20 episodes plus all of those special features there, brand new special features, plus previously released features from the DVDs that you will have already had. That's a lot of material. It's a lot of material pulled into one place for season 12. And yeah, so I keep them in their little slip cases because they're seamless, but also they protect the bottom from being scuffed. You'll see this one's actually got a tear in it from where it got caught on the shelf. Which really annoyed me in ways I will not share, because it's I want to keep this child friendly mostly, but I was really upset about that, and no mistake. But that's the beauty of keeping these, because they aren't really part of this, and they are there to protect it, and protect it in fairness, it did. So really, the key selling points for me, apart from obviously the upgraded Blu-ray high definition content, as far as is possible, is great. Is the simplicity and the clean lines of the text, the consistency, which if you're a collector of Doctor Who DVDs in the past, or an awful lot of serialized media, you'll know the frustrations that you can have when things on a shelf don't line up. So far, that isn't the case with this collection, in my experience anyway. Everything on the spine follows through, so I think it's going to look fantastic when we finally get there. But just look at that wonderful artwork. You've got Tom Baker there as the 4th Doctor. This is his introductory season as the 4th Doctor. We've got the Daleks there, we've got Cybermen, got the Sonic Screwdriver, we've got the giant robot, the Wirren, and the Sontarans, and giant robot, which I think I said already. Apologies if I missed anything, but I think this is a beautiful piece of art, and it carries forwards onto the back, where you can see the TARDIS entering that the time vortex as portrayed during the 4th Doctor's run. And it's it's one of the most famous opening credits ever in the history of television, particularly science fiction television. But that's not all. The exterior is lovely. It's beautifully put together. You can feel that it's a solid limited edition set. But the inside, so obviously we have all the discs here with beautiful on-disc artwork. But this is the bit, and I think I can stand this up here to let you see this. This is what I really love. It's the artwork on this section here. Now, this was the very first one released, so it's very nuanced and straightforward at this point. They get progressively more impressive as you go, but it's velcroed shut, so you can velcro it open. You can open it here, and immediately you get a lovely piece of artwork of the Doctor with Sarah and Harry, and that then flaps open as well to give you, in the first instance, a beautiful booklet. So again, bear in mind, you've already got all of these discs with all the extra features. You also get this beautiful collectible booklet. And it's got lots of behind the scenes photos, fantastic text. It's got, obviously, as you'd expect it to have, everything that you'd want to see that's coming up on the discs. But each of the stories got some development notes, some artwork, new behind the scenes feature information. Again, as I say, a lot of love has gone into the production of this. I'm not going to sort of throw all of it at you, because I appreciate if you want to get it, you'll have got it by now, and the standard edition has been released, so you can pick that up as well. But there is a lot in here. It's not just a little pamphlet that says, oh yeah, this is what's in it. There's a lot of love and attention to detail and info in this booklet, and that has been the case across every single release so far of the collection. I'm just going to come back to the interior, because then you can see, as I flip this up, you can see there is the Fourth Doctor's TARDIS console room and the surround. So it opens up as a bit of a diorama. You could, if you were so inclined, present it with some of your character options figures, or Eagle Moss figurines, whatever takes your fancy, or, you know, just use it as a Blu-ray case. But you can see there the quality of that artwork is something special. This isn't just a box with some discs rammed inside it, as is often the case. You know, that's often what you get with something like this, and you pay the same price. This isn't super expensive for the quality and the love of the work that's been put into it. Sometimes, yes, these things can be very expensive for not an awful lot of return. This is something that has already demonstrated its secondary market value. I'm just going to close that up, because if you're trying to find this now in the secondary market, because obviously it's now only available in a standard release, but if you were going after this limited edition version, you would struggle to find it for anything below £80, and I've seen it for triple figures. I've seen it for triple figures on eBay and elsewhere. So again, don't be scalped, because there's no need to be. You know, there's no need to be. It's you know, your life will continue without it. But if you are a fan of Doctor Who and you're not sure whether or not it's worth double dipping to get these stories again, believe me, you're going to start seeing them in a whole new way, because of that high quality, high definition upscaling that the Blu-ray brings. And again, with some of the older stories, the upscaling and the remastering is phenomenal. I'm really glad I did it. I fought against it, because common sense was saying, you don't need to get that. You've got all of those stories. Is it worth it for a few new documentaries? Well, firstly, yes. For those, if you're a big fan, then those documentaries will be really of interest to you. But you don't just get those extra documentaries and the extra features and so forth. You also get the high quality packaging. You get the booklet inside, high quality detailed information, and this is also me being practical here, which is not often something I can say that I am. This is the entirety of season 12, which is, as you saw, those 5 stories. Those 5 stories occupy that much space on my shelves as individual DVDs. Now, already I'm saving a lot of space. So by the time I've got 20 or 26 seasons, that's an awful lot of space that I will have saved and have replaced by, or used by, moving some of my Big Finish audio collection stuff onto those shelves, or, you know, whatever I may elect to include there next. So there's a real pragmatic reason to get it in that it'll reduce down the amount of space that you need to keep your Doctor Who classic collection all in one place. And again, it's so nice to see them lined up and it looking like a cohesive collection, which I must say the DVDs don't always do, and many of you will be aware of that. So this is not for me to say whether or not you need to have this in your collection. You probably already do, or you've kicked yourself that you didn't, or you're interested to see whether it's worth picking up the standard edition. The standard edition, I think, contains everything on here. It's just standard edition packaging and not this slightly, not to be rude, but slightly classier than the bog standard plastic Blu-ray release boxes. So whether you go for the classic standard edition or whether you go for this limited edition in future ranges, you know, my gut says go for it, because it's going to really enhance your collection, deepen your knowledge and awareness of all things classic Who, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful collectible piece of memorabilia from the series and of the series, and it's a real love letter. And I think if they stick with it and continue the quality through the whole 26 seasons, then I think we're going to have an amazing collection on our hands. Really, I really do think that. So what I'll do is I'll take us through, similar to this, if you want to go and listen to people reviewing the stories and the episodes and the bonus material content, there are other reviewers who will do that. I'm not a reviewer of that. I'm here to appreciate this, and believe me, I really very much do. Not least, I appreciate that snap decision that I took to procure this when it was first coming out. So let me know, have you bought this? Do you think it was value for money? Have you continued with the collection? What's your highlight of it? What do you think is missing? Have they missed a trick somewhere along the line? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, if you could like the video, that would be great. And whilst you're there, smash the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a future video. I'm not usually looking at DVDs and Blu-rays and things like that. That's not really my bag. This is purely because I did get asked about them, because they are collection adjacent to the character options and Eagle Moss Doctor Who stuff, and frankly they are beautiful, and so I have no problem sort of talking about them for 15 minutes. So thanks for sticking around. You have been a fantastic audience. This has been the Doctor Who The Collection Season 12 limited edition box set Blu-ray, and I have been the time travelling toy collector. Please remember that a thing of beauty really is a toy, or in this case, not a toy, forever. I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Bye-bye for now.